I got one more video for you guys today. My topic today is lunch and what to bring for lunch. I have sort of honed the quickest lunch possible, and it's relatively cheap, and it is something that I think just checks all the boxes. Most importantly, it's appetizing, and it's very quick to make. So I have a couple of these, but I guess I'll start off with my one that I do all the time. I remember when I first started out, I would try to make extra food when I was cooking for me and my wife, or that's actually, I guess we don't really do takeout that much. So that's pretty much what we do is I would just try to make, like, if I was like cutting up a pepper or something, like I would cut more of the pepper or like add something else, or like if I was going to do like a can of beans, I might do like a can and a half of beans or something. Or if I was going to cook like 2 cups of rice, I might like do 2.5 cups of rice. There'd be just a little bit more so that I could, make sure that I've had enough food that would fit breakfast and lunch for work the next day. And that didn't ever really work. I feel like I always sort of, it's kind of hard to know how much food in all these different types of food is enough to like make sure that you're satiated. Cause it's, I don't know if there's like 1 cup of pasta or 1 cup of rice is not gonna cover you for breakfast and lunch. I personally eat in my car as I go to work. It's probably not the safest thing, but I can never convince myself to wake up earlier and eat as I'm barely awake myself, and then get dressed and then leave. So I just throw everything together in my Tubberware, and then I eat it on the road. So that's breakfast, and then I'll keep that with me in my car, or sometimes I'll bring an insulated bag with me on site, and then eat my lunch on site. So I guess my first thing is having a good Tubberware, because you're going to be, it's very likely that your food item is going to be turned up on its end, or on its side, or it's going to be like, if you're in construction, that if anything can happen, it will happen. And so don't be surprised if your Tubberware upends itself, or you bring glass Tubberware and then somebody drops something on your lunch tote, and then your tote shatters, or somebody drops a pipe on your plastic thing and it cracks. So if it can happen, it will happen. So just try to think of if something's gonna spill, how you might package that differently. I have found a brand from Rubbermaid of Tupperware that is a good size. It has a pretty good leak-proof quality to it, and it's probably the best Tupperware I've ever used. It's not like flimsy, where I would call it like a cross between a glass and a plastic in terms of like its durability and like that it's nice. Like, I know that a lot of cheap Tupperware will over time, not only will they have a discoloration, but they will also they're prone to being very fragile, brittle, I guess, or they'll crack. And so if you can find a good brand out there that'll actually hold up and have a good gasketed seal, that's going to be an amazing investment for you, because you eat lunch. You're going to need a good container, like something that's reliable, that's actually going to be good for, your on-the-fly meals that you need to accommodate for every single day. So just keep that in mind. I have a Rubbermaid one that I use, so I can drop that in the description so that that can be of use to anyone who's interested. And I apologize about this beeping. It's probably going to sound terrible on the recording. But yeah, so if you can get that, pick that up for yourself, get a good Tupperware. That is probably one of the greatest things that's going to make getting a lunch every day like tolerable. Because if you have a bad Tupperware, you don't have a good sized Tupperware, you know, it's going to be so annoying to like try to fit all of these different food items into like soup. Like soup might go through the seam of the rubber seal, or you might have like a lot of food and you want to make sure that you can fit it all in there. So like getting a Tupperware that's like of a good size is like really important. And then I recommend getting a tote to like a somewhat flexible like insulated lunch bag that has some padding on it, because it's gonna potentially take a beating. Like if you, like I used to bring my stuff in like a plastic bag, and I liked that because it was like flexible. Like in the morning I'd go in my passenger seat and I'd grab it out of the bag and I'd put it in my lap. And I used to have this like non-flexible tote or like a lunch box, and like it was like the most difficult thing trying to pull it out of there while I was driving, and that's just not good to have. Like it creates a risk while you're driving, and not only is it bad to eat while driving in the first place, but it creates a greater risk. And then also I couldn't fit a lot of stuff, so like sometimes I use my lunch container to also have it as something that I bring inside with me. So like if I have batteries that I need to charge, or a light that I need to charge, or like there's some errand stuff that I want to bring into the house or take out with me when I go to work, you know, I can do that. So that's why I'd recommend having something that's like somewhat flexible, so that you can put additional things, because you're gonna have multi-uses for this bag. Back to the main point. My go-to meal is oatmeal, frozen berries, peanut butter, and then water above the oats. So the way that I do this is I'll set up the Tupperware. It'll be cleaned and ready, and I'll throw the oatmeal in it, and I'll throw the peanut butter in it, and then I'll leave that out on the counter. Both those things don't really need to be refrigerated. Oats are like a bulk good that can just be, you know, in a jar. You know, there's no refrigeration needed, and so I prep that to a point that lets me be more ready in the morning, and then in the morning I'll throw in the water and the frozen berries, and then it's ready to go. And that honestly takes about 2 to 3 minutes to make, and that's why I use that so much, because it's just such an amazing like option. It's just so quick, and oats are like a really good thing. They're like a great food source in general. They got a lot of like carbohydrates and proteins and iron, and you know, it's a very healthy food, so like it actually gives you energy. It doesn't make you feel like sluggish or like gross or like you might throw up. So yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. Like you can add like chia seeds or flaxseed or something, or like sprinkle some sugar on it so that it's like more and more appetizing. Yeah, so that's what my go-to meal that I use. Like I would say I make that like 95% of the time, because I just like oatmeal, and it's so incredibly quick and it's cheap. I use the most expensive part is probably the frozen berries that I get from Walmart. It's the cherry, blueberry, and strawberry mix. And that is an amazing one. The cherries taste great. The strawberries are not my favorite, but like the cherries taste amazing. And then with those two other ones as, you know, in there as well, you get a dose of fruit, that which is not something that a lot of construction workers can say that they get. So not only are you getting fruit, you're getting like a strong carbohydrate, you know, whole food in your diet, and to fuel you through your day. The other thing that I do is I'll do I'll start the rice cooker overnight. And some people say, you know, you're going to be adding bacteria if you start it overnight. And I get where you're coming from. But I'm just telling you stuff that I do. I'm just trying to be open. This is what I do. I will just start rice the night before, and then I'll have my rice cooker do that overnight, right? And then I will have some frozen mix that's really quick. Like it's like a peas, carrots, green beans, and corn sometimes mix. Just something frozen that you can throw in a pan, warm up, and to add some flavor to rice, basically. And then I'll either do like beans, or like a can of beans you can just throw it in, or there's this stuff called textured vegetable protein, and it's just like this like dehydrated soy, and you just hydrate it really quick, and then you can throw it into the food. So like that one takes more time. It probably takes more like 10 to 15 minutes, but it's still relatively quick. And if I ever run out of oatmeal, that's kind of my backup. So those are two meal options that you could do that I've found that are really quick. So anything frozen that you can throw into like anything that you can do in quantity and that you can heat quickly. So like frozen goods or like canned goods are things that work really well. And trying to choose something that's actually going to give you energy that helps is great. Like I've done pasta in the past, but pasta for breakfast and lunch, it's just like, it's not like it's just, you're just eating flour. Like it's not a wholesome energy that makes you feel good. It's like, as compared to like the oats and the berries. So those are two meals that I use all the time to help me get through my day quickly and affordably. So let me know what other meal things you guys do to save money from the pitfalls of being in construction and just going into like Circle K's and stuff like that. And yeah, let me know what you guys have for lunch. Peace.